Under Thornton, my understanding is that the only accountability tied to the funding was the provision of the master plan, and it was all increases for a subsequent year. And I'm pretty sure that accountability measure was never used. But there was nothing else incorporated in the formula at all around funding and accountability for outcomes. Is that accurate?
I'm sorry, I have to defer. I was like 10 at the time. So
We may have been in the same class.
yeah, maybe.
One of those so, the Thornton Commission did, so Scott talked about the elimination of a lot of categorical programs when Thornton was adopted. And so the concept that the Thornton Commission sort of came up with, and that is in our current law, was we're going to move away from tying specific streams of money to very specific requirements. And we're going to make the money more flexible. And because the school systems are saying that they, and all things being equal, one would hope, they would have a better idea of what they need to do to help their students achieve better than sort of a top-down approach. So that was the concept. And so I think Maryland was the first state, although just California recently has now adopted this master plan idea, where it's like a strategic plan. How are you going to utilize, how are you going to allocate your additional funds? And I would argue we should be also thinking about what you're already spending, and maybe you could reallocate some of that. But how are you going to spend the additional money, and how is it going to relate to improved outcomes? So that was the goal. I think I've heard Dr. Thornton, Dr. Grosmick, and others sort of say that the concept and the goal was not executed as was originally intended. So I don't think there was, while the school systems did their master plans and they were reviewed by MSDE and others, I don't, over time, the link between how are you spending your money and getting better results just got broken.
And it was never built into the formula in any way. It was just the master plan was a separate process from the formula funds in the budget.
Separate, with this exception, the state superintendent has, under current law, the authority to withhold funds.
All of them, all or nothing? Is that
I want to double check because I haven't looked at that in a little while, but the state superintendent absolutely has the authority to withhold funds. Now, the issue becomes under the law, the formulas are mandated funding, right? And ultimately, the state superintendent can withhold funds for however long, but by the end of the year, unless the legislature passes a bill that cuts that money, keeps that money ultimately will go out the door to the school system. So that's where we need, to the extent you're interested in looking at that, that's where it becomes sort of problematic, because the formulas are mandates and the money goes out the door unless the law is changed.
Thank you.